strong, empowering entrepreneurs where you belong. Grow your brand, lead the way. On Fired Up Fridays, we light up the day. Fired Up Fridays, feel the heat. Earn your worth, no retreat. Build your tribe, make it right. With Chris and Lorri, we ignite. Online presence, stand up tall. Organic marketing, we cover it all. Engage communities, connection deep. We're Fired Up Friday, success you'll reap. Fired Up Fridays, feel the heat. Earn your worth, no retreat. Build your tribe, make it right. With Chris and Lorri, we ignite. Online presence, stand up tall. Organic marketing, we cover it all. Engage communities, connection deep. With Fired Up Fridays, success you'll reap. Fired Up Fridays, feel the heat. Earn your worth, no retreat. Build your tribe, make it right. With Chris and Lorri, we ignite. Fired Up Fridays, feel the heat, earn your worth, no retreat. Build your tribe, make it right. With Chris and Lorri, we ignite.
Yes.
Yes!
Hi. Our obnoxious theme song, which I don't care.
It's also long.
It is long, but I tried to make it that it gave us time to get on the air, you
Yes.
know. But I'm like, it's
Fix my
because
hair. No.
yeah, it's got words, you can kind of get into it. I'm like, it gives everybody time, gives us time to get our stream situated and all that. So
I love
The-
it though.
the-
It's
the-
really good. Like it nails it really well.
yeah, it's super obnoxious, but
We see if we
we
can
love
get like
it.
a sponsorship
Yeah,
because we are rocking that song.
we are rocking that song. It sticks with you, Chris and Lorri. Yeah, it's great.
Fired Up Fridays.
Yes,
So,
fired up
are
Friday.
you fired up, Chris?
I'm fired up, man. It's a holiday weekend here across the United States. So super pumped, It is Fired Up Friday. We're happy to be here. Good morning, everybody. I see
Morning.
Michael's checking in. What's up, Michael? He goes, obnoxious. I'm offended because I was just thinking how good it is. Well, Michael, we're with you. We think it's good too. We just, I've already played it for a couple. Like my wife was like,
My kids
"Wow."
are like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, mom, please stop.
Yeah, my wife was like, okay. And I go, it's fun. She's like, sure it is. It's fun. I'm like,
So all right, we got
But whatever.
Michael says that
he likes it.
There we go.
He's liking it. He was just thinking how good it was. So thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. And hello, everybody else who else is tuning in, wherever you're watching us. Let us know. I think we can see some of the comments. He's laughing.
Yes.
I think we can see some comments from some people, but especially for those in the group, we can see you. So please feel free to comment away. If this is your first time checking out the whole Fired Up Fridays thing, we're streaming in some new places today. What this show is, this little program that Lorri and I doing, this is, I think, the third one we've been doing, or fourth one.
I think we're on 4.
So this is started off as sort of an experiment, and now it's becoming a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing now. Yeah, and it's a definite thing. So we have a group, Lorri and I, started off as like, hey, Lorri, can you help me with this group that I'm doing? And she's like, sure, I'll help you with this
Why
group.
not? I'll
Yeah.
come to another group, right?
Sure, I'll help you. And I was like, great, thank you. And so the creative marketing corner was sort of born that way on Facebook, and then it quickly became like a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, that's like hopped in and was like, wow, there's some great people, there's some great questions, there's some great stuff we could do. We see a need for some creative out of the box, but you're Rocket, I'm Guerrilla,
Yeah.
kind of marketing where it's the right processes that are step-by-step organic that will give you that rocket fuel to expand your business, but something that's not going to be overwhelming,
Right.
that like you stop working on your business, now you got to market and you're bouncing back and forth. So it was a
Yeah.
great group. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll check out this group, kind of like I was like, another group, and I was like, oh
Another
wait, this
group.
is a cool group.
This is a cool group. Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
whole point is to just really be able to break down all the stuff that Lorri and I are talking about and share with you all this information that we've gathered over the years through organic marketing, content creation, relationship development, all these things to help you run your business and break it down step by step in a very easy, digestible way, not overcomplicate it, not give you 300 steps or anything like that, like all very practical advice that you can implement into your business like right away and
Yeah.
start seeing the results that you want. And that's the point. And that's the point of this group. So if you're not in the group right now, then there is a link in the, I would say, the description of this, wherever you're watching. Use that link and you can join. It's absolutely 100% free. And Lorri and I are very active in the group, and so are the members of the group. And it's just all about building a community here where we're all sharing and helping each other out to grow our businesses. So with all that being said, Lorri, we had a pretty active week in the group with
Yes,
some
we did.
good posts. We had a challenge happen. We had
Yes.
you kicked us off on Monday with a really good post. I love how you always lead the way on Mondays with your posts. So let's talk about Monday.
Honestly, I'll be a little bit selfish where this group is great, but that's, you and I have talked a lot about how like there are so many different things that we have done, but still so much more that we haven't tried or experimented. And so I love this group, not only because you and I are in there sharing our tips and tips,
Right.
but everybody's collaborating, and I'm using this as accountability. So that's where like you and I have talked about it. I'm like, you know what? Like I have some big goals that I need to hit, and not need to, I want to. I'm excited about hitting.
Right.
But I love the accountability then that I get from this group. And so just kind of really working on the mindset. That's what this week has all been for me, is like really the mindset of like, okay, I have some big things that are going to stretch me. And so it's time to get in the mindset of like, yeah, we're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, mindset is a big part. I mean, we talk about it all the time. I mean, and anybody that follows us over, when we're with UCS advisors helping it out. But I'm, if you've been following me for years, you know that I'm a big advocate of PMA, positive mental attitude. It goes back to the punk rock days, Bad Brains. But even further back, we've talked about it, like Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill talks all about the positive mental attitude. And listen, it's not easy. It's not easy to maintain that attitude, but attitude is a huge part of this journey that we call, making a business, entrepreneurial, founder, all that stuff. Mindset's is a huge part of it, because if your mind isn't into it, if you're not 100% present and always trying to move forward, it's gonna be a problem. You're not gonna be as successful, I think, as you want to be.
Yeah.
And listen, ups and downs are real. I mean, we're human beings, man.
Right.
It's, of course, we're gonna get frustrated and pissed off and like, oh my God, this is so hard. Why did I do this to myself? I mean, how many of those moments have you had? Like, why am I doing this to myself?
And why?
Yeah. What a stupid idea. I could have just taken a job somewhere and just gotten a pay. Like, why do I do this to myself? Well, because you love it. You love the pain, but you also love the glory.
I did write a LinkedIn post this morning about that. But so the post that I wrote in the group, we hear all the time like slow and steady wins the race. And it's, it's that we hear about the tortoise and the hare, and we're always taught like slow and steady. But like, if it's a sprint and you're going slow and steady, like, I'm sorry, you're going to come in dead last. Slow and steady does not always win the race. It depends on what race you're running. And, but then I related back to like the entrepreneurial journey is a really, really long journey. And so thank goodness that slow and steady does apply. But there are moments, and this is where I'm bringing in my ultra running, the mountains of it, the ultra running idea that like, there are going to be moments that you have to push harder. that you maybe mentally don't feel like moving forward, and or you've got a hill to climb, but then that there's a descent and then there's an aid station at the bottom. They always put the aid station at the bottom of the hill.
Always at the
Never
bottom.
at the top, always at the bottom. And so, so that's where I wrote this post about how the entrepreneur journey is really, really long. That's where slow and steady will win the race. But if you're constantly only going slow and steady, then there's going to maybe be some opportunities that you miss out on. And so there are times when you have to work a little bit harder. And so that's where in this mindset I'm getting in is that I have been slowly and steadily since the beginning of January, really, really building my business well, making sure that I have processes and strategies all put in place. And now it's time to it's time to push. I'm feeling like, okay, this is good, but I'm itching to see some massive results, but massive results aren't going to come if you're going slow and steady. And so it's a balance as an entrepreneur that you need to get, be consistent, don't go all out and burn out. And so, we've got the challenge going in, but I have a 90-day sprint because we think September, October, November, and so I'm getting the group behind me to help support me. So that is the post is we need there are push and there are flow moments in the entrepreneurial journey, and you have to be honest with yourself which one you're in and which one you need right at that moment, because if you ignore the push moments, there's going to be opportunities that you miss.
Yeah, very well said. Really well said.
Sorry, that was really long too.
No, I'm glad. No, I mean, I think it's a great, because it just goes in deeper about that post. I do want to just say, Michael posted in the group. He said, and this is going on about why did I do this to myself? Why did I start a business? So I've asked myself that question many times, but at the end of the day, I'd rather be in control of my own destiny. And I think that to me hits the nail on the head right there. Nothing wrong with going to work for somebody else at all. But this is why
if we all did our own business, we would.
Right. But this is the thing where it's just that's the answer to the question. Well, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you endure all the pain, the sacrifice, the heartache, the blood, the sweat, the tears? And it's because at the end of the day, I'd rather be in control of my own destiny with this. And, I think it's a little bit of it's a sink or swim, mentality of owning a business. And going back to what you were just saying to tie it in about, setting goals and setting, a precedent and when to sprint, and when to walk. And those are the moments you have to be aware of that stuff in your business. I'm never for rushing things, but I'm also of a ready, fire, aim mentality, which you and I have talked about many, many times. I mean, this group is literally a ready, fire, aim mentality. We're literally building the plane as we fly. Yeah, building planes, building cars, as we're using them, and that's what this group is.
Yeah,
huh?
we're constantly flying planes as we build them. But you do have to have that. The slow and steady part is where you're making sure you have all the tools, because you don't want to be building a plane while flying it and realize there is a tool you need and you don't have it. Sort of deal. So the slow and steady is making sure you've got those tools. But I'd even challenge Michael and anybody listening to ask why again. Was it ask at least 3 whys? You want to control your destiny. Well, why? Because of this. Well, why? Because that's a fantastic answer. You want to control your destiny, but why is that important? And then why is that important? And I'd say go 3 to 5 whys to really get at a core mission that no challenge is going to be able to disrupt. And so, I'm gonna do
that because I think it's time to why am I doing this to myself? I mean, I have a good idea, but I should do that as well. I think that'd be a good time to do that.
Yeah, and then I challenge everybody on.
Got a lot of challenges going on right now.
Everybody's
getting challenged.
We're getting challenged, and we're leveling up, people.
You're getting challenged. You're getting challenged. I'm challenging the world right now.
Get some chalk markers, and you can use those to write on your mirror.
Oh yeah.
Because what does everybody do what do you do when you first wake up? Everybody goes to the bathroom. We all kids to adults, we all go to the bathroom first thing. So when you look in the mirror, you see your face and then you see all the whys for why you're getting up, why you're doing what you're doing. And so the very first thing in the morning then is you're infused with the mission, and it just puts you in a really positive mindset. So chalk markers, I promise you can use them on the mirror and they don't stain.
They don't stain.
Yeah, my mirror, and then my kids actually did it too. It's really cool. They have
I like when you I like when you send me the pictures of like, here's
Yeah.
what was written on the mirror today. I think that's cute. That's a nice family activity, actually.
Yeah.
I wish I had done that when the girls were a lot younger. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I have my kids pick a word of the year, and or a word of the quarter, word of the month for a deal. So they have the word of the year, and then we do on the kids' bathroom the word of the month for them. And so then they get up and they look and they see that is their vision for the month sort of deal. So yeah, I'm that woo woo parent.
That's okay. No, I think it's good. It's really good. It's good for kids to see that, and I think hear it and be around it, because I feel like it's just another way of preparing them for the world that they're going to eventually enter after they're out of the bubble. You know, when they're out of the bubble, which is what my older daughter's been experiencing now. She's been out of the bubble for a couple of years. So, but I'm glad that they kind of saw my trials and tribulations being a business owner and the things that I went through. And, I have some really interesting discussions with them now. And I think that they're now hearing, they're asking their questions of, going behind the curtain a little bit as to like, wait, what was this like? Or I didn't realize that was what was going on. So it's funny now that they're of the age where it's like, that's a question they're asking. And I'm like, oh, well, here's the honest answer of what was going on at that time, or here's what I went through, or here's what we dealt with. And so it's, I think it's important. It's important lessons for them to, because the thing is also too, like, things like that, they're not necessarily going to learn that in school or anything like that. So it's, we all know that being a business owner and being in business is a very experienced thing. Like, I've shared this story hundreds of times. I did not go to school for business at all. I took not one single business class. I went to school for filmmaking, and that's what I did. And I learned yeah, I became a business owner kind of accidentally, as I've always say, accidental business owner, and we found someone who mentored us, someone who took us under their wing and taught us business, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what I love to do for people now. It's my way of giving back, of saying, hey, if you're an accidental business owner, is you do it too. I mean, we both are. Like, that's why we're doing this group. Like, whether you accidentally fell into business, or hey, you chose to get into business because you said, I'm going to own a business, but now you're in it and you're like, well, this is what's going on, and I don't know how to overcome this, or like, I don't know how to get to the next level, or like, I this is all these reasons. That's why you and I exist in this group, to kind of help answer those questions as best we can and give you our advice and share our experience with you.
I would say too, like, any business classes, and I'm looking at some of the stuff that, like, I have, an 11th grader, and he's taking some business classes in high school, and concurrent enrollment for college stuff, and I'm just like, this is not this business class is not the real world.
Right.
Sort of deal. It's and a lot of it is about how to come up with your idea, write your business plan.
Yeah.
They don't teach you about what happens when that business plan goes to crap. Like,
no, that's why they always say, what's the worst case scenario?
Yeah.
Because that is what happens.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't know what's going to happen, and you got to be prepared. You have to have a contingency plan
and that's for
if it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Which, it's very real. It happens.
Yeah. And that's where, again, the mindset, they also don't teach in school. So I do a lot of teaching at home. I do have, my kids are in public school, but I do a lot of teaching at home, because I'm like, hey, like, here's the deal. Your mindset and your network are the two most valuable things that you can go into the world with. And that's regardless if you're running your own business or even being, an employee. And so, you're going to get, especially as an entrepreneur, you're going to get rejection in all the ways, all the ways. And you've got to have that inner worth, that when you get a customer that leaves, or a potential customer that goes to a competitor, if you are trying to invest and you're going to get the best way to figure out how large your self-worth is to try and go raise capital sort of
Yeah.
deal. And so you're going to get so much rejection, and you've got to know that you as a person, your worth is not determined by what you do or the rejection that you get.
Great point. Very good point. Before we move on to our next part that I want to discuss, which is the challenge, another challenge we laid down. I did find your LinkedIn post, and I want to share it with everybody, just so everybody has a visual of your word of the year. So word of the year is rise, and I love this though. I love all the writing on the mirror. This is great.
Yeah. So I've got
this is excellent.
Reminder: play is powerful, because I was getting in. That's where I played a little bit this year because I wanted to get back into the creative mindset. As entrepreneurs, we're kind of we need to be creative, and you can't be in a forceful energy and create. Like creative is more of a flow and kind of a receiving kind of energy. So I need to get back into that this beginning of this year. I've got my life mantra. I've got some different, I don't necessarily use affirmations, because then I'm like, I am. And then my mind's like, no, you're not. But I do have like intentions that I set. But then if you're struggling with those, go ask 10 people what they admire about you. And even if you're family and friends and they think that you're nuts for being a founder and an entrepreneur, everybody admires an entrepreneur. Like, it takes guts. So ask 10 people what they admire about you, and then write those things down, and then put that on the mirror. So that way then you see that you've got a supportive network. They might not understand what you do, and they might even make fun of what you're doing. And they might get mad because you no longer have the time to do what you used to do. But there is admiration there, and there's a supportive network. So the mirror is a powerful reflection of where you are, where you want to be in your mindset. So
powerful reflection. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So you and I have been talking about where we want to go, what we want to do for the rest of this year. And I said, I'm going to challenge myself. And then you're the one that went forward and put it to the group. So what as a group are we do? And everybody watching this, you can hop in the group. You can join us in this next challenge that we've got for everyone. So
absolutely, we do. We have a challenge going on. So we invite you all, anybody watching this, whether you're live or you're watching this on demand, wherever you're seeing this outside of the group, we invite you into the group. You can use the link. It is in the description. So just click that and you'll be entered into our Facebook group. We will grant you access.
We will.
So so the thing that we were talking about, Lorri and I were talking about making challenges and all that, and just trying to get everybody like into stuff, and figure out, once again, when we talk about goals and where we want to be like now until the end of the year, one of the easiest things that we can do as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as founders, as creativepreneurs, whatever business you're in, one of the easiest things that we could do that we bypass a lot. Why? Because we're moving fast. We're not stopping. We're not stopping to think, is to go back to the people you've talked to. Like, you have spent years building networks, connecting with people, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, in person, any trade organization, networking group you're part of. I mean, I'm sure you have hundreds of people that you have connected with. Even if you have 20 people you've ever connected with, it's still people. The point is, you have relationships that you've cultivated, but because we are always moving fast, always thinking of the next thing, it's what we do. It's what entrepreneurs do. And if you are the only person inside your business, say you don't have a team, or maybe you don't have you don't have anybody else but yourself, you're doing everything. You're wearing every single hat. So it's super easy to blow by the simplest thing, which is to reach out to the people you've spoken with, and not just the people you're currently speaking with, but to really think about this. So here is the challenge, right? Over the next 2 weeks, and this is for anybody, we'd like for you to join the group, but if you don't want to join, just take this challenge for yourself, because it will help you. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to start today. If you're watching this, you can start today. For anybody in the group, it was Wednesday. The clock was ticking on Wednesday. But if you're watching this now, the clock starts now. Take out, I don't care if it's Google spreadsheet, a piece of paper, Post-its, your notes app on your phone, whatever it is. But over the next 2 weeks, I want you to reach out to 20 people you haven't spoken to in 3 months or more. And that's like 3 months ago was the start of the summer. Like, that seems like 1,000 years ago. Like, it's almost 90 days ago. Like, but think about that. Like, if you think about June 1st to now, like, that is pretty much 3 months ago. And you go, wow, I really haven't talked to that person since April, since May, since March, February, January. Like, that's just 20 people that you haven't talked to in 3 months or less. Reach out to them. And I want you to be intentional about this, because the thing is, it's like, hey, it's one thing to say, hey, hi, how are you? How's your year been? All fun and good. But let's act with intention, right? And let's lead from a place of, once again, we've always said the serving versus selling. We always want to serve first. So let's lead from a place where that interaction with that person, when you reach out to them, is going to be, hey, how can I help you? I'd love to help you. It's been a while since we spoke. What can I do? Who can I introduce you to? Who are you looking to meet from now to the end of the year? Because oftentimes, sometimes people's businesses change. Sometimes they focus on something else. Like, these things happen all the time. People pivot. So ask first, how can I help you? And then I want you to be ready, because naturally, should go this way. It should be reciprocal.
What are you doing? How can I help you?
Exactly. And I want you to be very intentional. I want you to be very laser focused on who you're looking to meet, who you want introductions to. You have to be focused. Do not say anyone. Do not say anyone looking for. So if you're in video production, don't say anyone looking to do a video. Also, don't just say, oh, anybody involved in marketing.
That's a lot.
That is wide. How about this? How about I'm looking to connect with marketing directors who are at a work for a food and beverage company, particularly in list the size, like a 50 to 100 per. Like, get really specific. And even if there's a certain company you want to get in front of, or a particular person you'd like to meet, get that specific, because also while you're connecting, you should do a little due diligence. Who are they connected to on LinkedIn? Yeah. Is there someone of interest on their LinkedIn that you would like that introduction to? Get specific. Take the time to do it. This is what makes the difference in people's business. And when you say, what kind of activity can I do now? Because I know it's going to be busy. The fall rush is going to come. Clients are going to, hey, cool. But don't, because what we do now happens now, pays off in quarter one when it's quiet and everybody's gone, and you're like, oh my God, there's no business coming in because I'm done fulfilling the contracts from Q4.
Yes.
Now what do I do? Now you start doing this. Do it now. Yes. So that way the business is coming in Q1, and just repeat this process over and over again. Like, it's a very simple thing. So step one, make the list of people. I don't care who they are. I don't care where they're from. The only criteria is 20. By the way,
I guarantee there's gonna be somebody there that you were like, oh yeah, I'll totally follow up, and then you didn't follow up. Don't worry about that. Don't
worry about it. Doesn't worry about it, because guess what? They did the same thing. It's all good. We're all human. We're all busy. Great point. Yeah. Do not worry about it. Do not sweat these small things. Don't head trash. Get rid of it.
It's been 5 years. Don't worry about it. Just be like, oh my gosh, you were an important part of my life, and I let time go. I apologize. How are you doing?
Yes. Exactly. That. Yep. So step one, 20 or more. I don't care. You can do more, but just let's say 20.
Do more.
over 2 weeks. Step one, just take out a piece of paper, notes app. I don't care what it is. Write the names down. Start there. Then literally, so you can make this attainable, because I'm giving you 2 weeks to do this. Make sure you spend the time, do 2 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day, 5 a day, whatever works best for you. But more than 1 a day. You got to do more than 1 a day. I want at the very
knock out 20, and that's also because there's different personalities. So you might want to do 1 or 2 a day, or if you want to set some time aside, set an hour aside and send them all out. So then you've got the next 2 weeks, and you're following up on those conversations. because then you're gonna be like, oh crap, now I got 20 conversations I gotta follow up on.
Right. Exactly.
But sometimes that works. Like if you're in a
It does.
retail mode, like be in that mode. Or if
Give you a
you
groove.
are stressed and you have a lot on your plate over the next 2 weeks, because it's all, and guys, a holiday weekend isn't an excuse to not do it either. It's a perfect reason. Oh my gosh, it is Labor Day weekend. Can you believe the summer went by so fast?
Yeah.
Perfect way to make that conversation happen.
Absolutely, 100%. So if you are right now, you're looking for, hey, how do I get things, maybe summer was slow for you, depending on where
Mhm.
you're at, what business you're in. Hey, all good. It happens. Some businesses are seasonal, some are not, but now is the time. This is when you push, as Lorri was saying, some of the stuff you do, like, hey, when is it time to sprint? Now is actually a time to sprint. Why? Because we know it's going to get busy. We know how Q3 and Q4 go for us in our businesses. Most of the times we are very busy, which is a good thing. But that doesn't mean the activity that you're supposed to be doing has to stop, and it shouldn't stop. So make the sprint, do this in the next 2 weeks, and I'm telling you, it will pay off. It
Yeah.
will pay off. And
Yeah.
it's not going to be, you may get a quick hit, some quick business. Hey, that could happen, but this is more about the investment of time into
Correct.
things that you're going to need when we're talking about Q1.
Yeah.
Get
I was
back
thinking
on the
of-
radar.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I can guarantee that like you're gonna write 20 people and one of them could end up doing business with you, but it's not likely it's going to happen right away. It's going to take a couple touch points. It's going to take a couple of conversations. So start those conversations now. Everybody works on their business through, December we kind of slowed down sort of, and then January everybody starts doing these activities, and like Chris says, it's going to take 3 months. And so if you're in January going, oh my gosh, I don't have any business, I need to get business, and you're just starting conversations in, you got to give yourself, it's going to be another 3 months before you're really able to have any of those conversations pop. So do it now. September, October, November. We're starting off with 20 in 2 weeks, but really September, October, November, 90-day, there's 90-day fitness programs. Think of it like that.
Yeah.
And then December, you're following up on conversations. You are making sure that you have your processes in order. You're reflecting. You're doing all the things in December that we do with like figuring out where we are, where we want to go. But that means that you've got conversations going.
Yep.
So January comes and you're like, all right, let's make this year happen. So do it now. I will add, when people say, okay, well, how can what are you looking for? Some of the best conversations I've had is when I've had 2 asks. One is like specifically for like, hey, I am looking for clients. This is who they are, the challenge that they're going through, and the solution they're looking for. But then, so that's very, very specific. And they might be like, well, I don't know anybody.
Right.
How about the second ask that's a little less about introducing and a little less about having them help you sell, sort of deal?
Yeah.
Have it be something like, hey, you know what? I've got a marketing group that it's a free group, and I'd love to have you join. Or even something simple as, hey, I just want to meet some new people and make some new friends because my current network, we're having the same conversations. So are there people that I could just like talk to, or are there groups that you're in that I could join? And so have 2 different asks. One that could be I'm looking for this type of client. Do you know anybody to introduce me to? And then have a softer ask of just, hey, are there any groups that you're in that I would enjoy? Or it could even be something, honestly, just keeping the conversation going. Is there a book you recommend that I should read before the end of the year? And then it gives you a chance to follow up, kind of a thing too. So yeah, just 2 asks to give it a business, and then maybe something that's a little bit softer.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Well said there. So just to recap, this is once again very simple how to do it. Make the list. After you make the list, lead from a place of serving. So it's how can I help you? Right? Make it all about them. How can I help you? But then be ready for the reciprocal ask of, that's great. Well, how can I help you? And now when that question comes, I want you to be very specific. Be specific about who you want to meet, what the title is, what kind of company it is, what size, like what kind of product, whatever it is. And even to help them out, you can even go one step further. A nice recommendation too is if someone is going to do any introductions for you, already have like some language ready to go for them. like a little
Or that one
template.
pager, remember?
Yeah, like the one pager that we talked about. Also, the one pager could work
Everybody
too.
needs to do that.
Yeah,
Like, hey, awesome, great. Can you send this to them?
right. Be proactive. Take all the hard work out of it for them, because that will help you. You're helping you help. Helping them help you is it's a very reciprocal thing. So you
And
can
then
have
track.
that saved. Like
That's
it
the
could be
last
literally
tip.
be a 1 to 3 sentence introduction that they can use, and then when you send it, say, hey, feel free to use this language, put it in your own words, however you want. But it's there, and so now you've just made it even easier. You've taken all the heavy lifting out of the process
Good
for them.
point.
So
Yeah.
and that's it. And then to Lori's point, then it's about follow-ups. Once you do those once you ask for those, follow up, keep track of it. Once again, put it in a spreadsheet. Hey, I reached out to Bob, reached out to
Yep.
Ron, reached out to Kate. Track it for
Because
yourself.
that's my problem. That's what we're having.
Yeah.
That's what I'm being challenged on. Because like
Yeah.
I have 50 conversations I started this week.
You don't need
I
an
have to go
expensive CRM to
I
do
have
this.
to go back to my LinkedIn DMs and write
Yeah.
them all down because I was just like rapid fire conversations. And I had some really great conversations. I have some potential potential client phone calls scheduled for next week. Like
Right.
rocked it this week. I didn't keep track of anything. That is my
Yeah. And listen, if you want a template, I'm happy to share with you my little tracking template. If you don't have a CRM,
yeah. Chris
I
has a
can
great
easily make one. It's very easy. It's
Yep.
like name, email, phone number, and then I drop her down yes or no. Like I could share it with you. So if you want it, just DM me, and I'm happy to share that with you, because that's just a great way to keep track of those phone calls
And
and,
if you don't keep
emails or
track,
whatnot.
then
Then it's hard to circle back
or
and
you're
then
gonna
just
do a
say,
lot.
hey, yeah, exactly. So
A lot of tracking.
yeah, it's really a very simple 4-step process
It is.
here.
It's really simple.
It's so simple. So
I'm
make the
like,
time. Make
I'm
the
on
time.
the phone, like in carpool kind of stuff, and that's where like upscale your time. If you're
Yeah.
sitting in carpool, like send out 2 messages. Easy, it really is. If you are, I mean, like, honestly, like you go to the bathroom with your phone, make it productive.
Might as well.
Just saying. Okay, now I'm gonna get a whole bunch of DMs, and I know where y'all are.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us.
Yeah,
I mean, I want us to
absolutely.
overstay our welcome. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today, spending a little bit of time as we do our
Yep.
Fired Up Fridays. Hopefully you feel fired up.
Fridays.
If you please let us know, like if you want to join the group. Once again, the link to our Facebook group is in the description of this. It's 100% free to join. The information's free. Everything in there is all about helping you and empowering you to, help you
we'll
rock and
add
roll in your
too,
business.
if you have questions, and even more specifically, if you want to hop in with us, we can workshop stuff on a Fired Up Friday.
Yep.
And so if you had a question and you wanted it to be more in depth than just like the post on or in the group, let us know, because we also love the idea of getting on and having a collaborative conversation with you.
Yep.
So that's also an option as well.
100%. We are here to serve and happy to help. So, all right, well, hey, have an amazing holiday weekend. Holiday weekend. Have fun. Have a good time. Take the challenge. Start reaching out to your 20 people over the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Start it today. Don't delay on it. It's gonna be it'll be worth your time. I promise.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us all.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.